I think if the population is 10% gay, I think in the restaurant industry and the service industry, it's got to be double or more. It just seems like it's a magnet for whatever reason, maybe because we are more tolerant.
7 out of 10 Americans know someone who is LGBT. It's one thing to have policies in a dusty book on a shelf. It's entirely another thing to really kind of bring them home with openness and transparency. The buying power of the adult LGBT population was projected to be $743 billion. The LGBT community is one that shows great loyalty to companies that support them. If our perception is that you support us, then we'll be with you for life.
And I always say to people, you have to in-reach before you outreach. The worst thing you could ever do in the LGBT marketing is to go out and post a big ad like, you know, we want all the gays, and then internally everything's screwed up.
If a company does something that is opposite to LGBT equality, there is going to be a significant backlash from the LGBT community.
Don't erase them, and don't erase your customers. When your customers walk through the door, know who they are and recognize them for it and celebrate who they are. And that's how you build loyalty. And that's one of the first things you can do, and it's free.
You may not know it, but you have team members, hourly team members working for you that are gay or lesbian or bisexual or transgender, and they are either engaging, right, giving their best, or not.
But I want you to know that the young men and women that we teach here at this university every day get it. And they are going into the industry, and they're not going to tolerate, regardless of their sexuality, they're not going to tolerate these corporations that are intolerant.
The folks that are right behind us support issues of equality by far greater numbers, and I believe many of them are your consumers. So I would suggest to you that there is a business decision here for supporting equality as well.
You can still hold your religious beliefs and accept the notion of equal treatment. Those two things are not contradictory. You know, what's it like being in the closet? And, you know, it's a painful place and it's a lonely place.
So what is cultural intelligence? It's having the knowledge, skills, and insights to effectively engage people and groups from across different racial, ethnic, and cultural groups. Why would MFHA venture from its diversity and inclusion space of Black, Latino, Asian, and other underrepresented groups? It's a culture like any other culture, and it's very well represented in the food service, hospitality, lodging industry, tourism industry. And so it's about time that somebody's taken it head on and said, let's make sure that we can bring fairness and equity of opportunity, equity of service to the LGBT community.
So some of these sessions and those breakouts, when people were telling their story, I came to realize that understanding and dialogue and honesty, when it's not there, you know, it's caused a lot of pain.
I think that LGBT is sort of one of those areas in diversity that lots of people still don't want to touch.
As many people in our industry, as you know, are gay and lesbian, but they're afraid to come out. So I think it starts the conversation in a dialogue.
Cultures around the world are changing. Cultures within our domestic brands are changing. There is no other way you can leave this out.
It's been a real eye-opener this morning as I've sat through it. So I think it's one that couldn't be ignored, needs to be addressed, and again, I really applaud MFHA for doing it.